now to the last and final vlog of August. That's the month we're in. Ignore the sound of the fan. It's hot. I'm dealing with it. This is the vlog where I read 3 physical books that happen to all be Greek retellings written by a woman. But the original plan for it was that I was gonna go through my unhaul pile, figure out books. Is not the love hypothesis. You cannot. I mean, you can see kind of the edge of it. This is just here for other reasons. I should actually move it up here. But go through my unhaul piles and see which ones I want to reread to see if I want to keep them. Here's the thing. Most of them are 3 stars or below. Or DNS. So I don't want to. And the ones that are not, that are 4 stars, that I've decided, like, I know I don't want to reread. Except for these 3. It happens, like, there was this whole thing where I was like, I'm gonna go through these lists and see, like, which ones I want to reread, and whatnot. And literally, the only 3 that I'm willing to reread to see if I want to keep them are Greek retellings written by a woman. So yeah, that's what this is. I'm gonna go through, I don't know which ones I read. Well, I know which one I read first, but I don't know which one I read second or third. So that's complicated. Because I want to go in order of when I originally read them. I don't know. I feel like I read this one first. Or second. But, the first one I read was Silence of the Girls. This was, like, I believe the second book from Book of the Month I ever got and read. The first one is on this unhaul pile, and it is staying here. I did not like it. Yeah, I got this one in September 2018. Dear God, that was such a long time ago. I've had book length way too long. Yeah, I read it. I started it around Christmas time that year because I was visiting family and on the car ride back, I started to read it, didn't get far in it, finished it, I want to say January of 2019. Really liked it. It is Time of Song of Achilles. Listen, when I read Song of Achilles, and I would say, I know this character from blah, 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 from another book or something like that. It was from this book. Because at the same time and whatnot, same story. Because it is about one of the slave girls. Well, generally the slave girls in general during that, the war against Troy. But, the main character is one of Achilles' slave girls. So yeah, and her whole life story. I know there is a sequel. I've not read it yet. I want to. My sister has read this one. I don't know if she's read any of the other 2. I don't think so. And she said, hey, I preferred if you kept it because I liked it. And it's pretty short, so, like, good times. Stay tuned to see these and read with me in the future. Because good times. Yeah, I plan to start my reread of this one today, actually, because I want to start filming some read with me, so, and whatnot, and I need to read these anyways, because, like, I'm late, I'm behind, from when I originally planned to read them, but, like, it's fine. I believe the second one I read, I don't know. Maybe the second one I read was Circe. Right? By Madeline Miller, also author of Song of Achilles. You know, how we're connected. I remember preferring this one over Song of Achilles. Like, when I filmed the vlog, the one where Bessie picked out, or Stingray picked out what gay books I should read, in June, I said, I'm pretty sure in that vlog when I read Song of Achilles, that it's been a while since I've read this, like at least 2 years, but I feel like I prefer this one, which I stand by. I haven't reread it, but, like, I feel like I'm going to prefer it. And, like, I was talking to other bookish people, and they say that they preferred this one over that one because they had read Song of Achilles first. So, part of the reason why I want to read this is to figure out if I actually do prefer this one. Also, to see if I want to keep it. And, you know, other good things. I don't know. So, yeah, this one's about the sorceress Circe, more popular from her time in the Odyssey. Most of these are about women who are viewed as villains or side characters in these tragedies about men. Like Circe is like the evil woman who kept him on the island type thing. Also know her from Percy Jackson. Hell yeah. and whatnot. So that's another thing that they all have connected, because like side character that everyone just ignores. She's considered a villain. I don't remember about Ariana. Could I read Jennifer Saint's? I think she has 2 more books out since this one came out. That are Greek retellings, and I've not read either one of them. I remember really liking the writing of this one, as well. I don't know. I love how the texture of this one is like so weird, in comparison. Also, fun fact, Cersei is the aunt of Ariadne. Like, her sister is the mother of her, I believe, or whatnot. But basically, she is the one who helps, Theseus kill her brother, the Minotaur, and then betrays her family and a bunch of stuff. And then I believe he leaves her, if I remember properly, for her sister, Phaedra. I don't remember which one of them had the weird sea monster where, like, she got the tail to protect her. It was Cersei. I remember, because it was the son of Odysseus. Our kid was the son of Odysseus. I remember suddenly. But yes, it's gonna be a good time. Me just reading 3 historical, mythology retellings at the same time. It's gonna be interesting, because I'm in the romance mood. We don't need to question it. But yeah, that's what I'm reading. Good times. I love how, do all of them have like a kind of sun thing going on? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just crazy. So, yeah, that's the intro to this vlog. I'm going to go start, the Silence of the Girls, and I guess I'll talk to you later, probably when I finish it, and whatnot, and tell you whether or not I plan to keep it or if it goes back on the path. Okay, we're back to the weird angles, apparently. There's a dog here. So if you just see me moving this arm, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the dog. There's a dog in my bed. But I just finished The Silence of the Girls. It's been like 3 days. I read like 20 pages the day that I said I was going to start it, and then I read most of it yesterday, and I wanted to finish it, but I was really tired, so I read like the last 85-ish pages just now. And I have decided, I'm gonna keep it to 4 stars. I did remember that when I originally read it, I rated it 5 stars, and then brought it down after my sister read it, and I think she rated it 4 stars as well. I guess I'll keep it because like she wants to keep it as well, and it's not like a thick book or anything. I did learn that when I went to, for the first time ever, read the synopsis of the second book, like seriously, am I okay? I was wondering, because it is called The Woman of Troy, I was wondering if Bresis, is not even how you pronounce her name, I do not know, basically the narrator of this one, there's like some points where it's Achilles' narration, but for most of it, it's her, and it's like her telling the story after the fact type of thing. But I was wondering if she would be an important character in that one, and yes. And then when I did that, I learned that there's a 3rd one that's supposed to come out next year. So interesting. It's been like multiple years, because this one came out in 2018, so you know, interesting. But yeah, I liked it. I did love, I mean, there's like a general theme, I think, throughout all of these, but especially this one, where it's the story of the men, and how time just erases the story of the woman, especially the slave woman, going through these things, and whatnot. And Bella, please, not the cord. Bella, I love you, Bodo. No. There we go. Oh, hi. Come on up. Come on up. Hi. You want to talk about book with me? Okay. Yes, I love you too. So, you know, how that's a theme, and also like the very end of the book. Thank you so much. Very end of the book is hers, like a lot of it is about how it's Achilles' story, not hers, because she doesn't get to have her own story. She is just property of all these men, and whatnot. And at the very like last page is about how the story will be told and whatnot, and how certain people will be labeled as lovers. Like there's a constant thing throughout it about she's literally in my lap. Oh my god. This is a very dark book, Bella. Stop trying to lighten the mood. About like many of the other kings and whatnot that they were fighting with thought that Patroclus and Achilles were lovers and whatnot and all that jazz. And so like the last few lines of this book are talking about how maybe the story will say that they're lovers and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter because it's his story, not hers, despite the fact that literally it's from her point of view. Hi, I just realized I'm matching the book. But yeah, keep it at 4 stars. I really like it. I'll possibly reread it. It was a fun time rereading it because like I realized certain things that I remembered from any 3 of these, honestly, was from that one, which is hilarious because that was the first one I read. I think I read this one end of 2020, same year. I looked it up. Hi. Oh my god. Yes. Okay. I love you too. So I'm reading this one next. I'm reading Circe next. It is a heck of a lot longer. Like that one was 290, and as soon as I picked this one up, I knew it was much longer. It's over 350 pages, so interesting time. But I'm excited. I remember really, really liking it. Like if I had to, off memory, think of which one of these 3 is my favorite, I'd say Circe. So interesting. I wonder if I'll annotate it. I wonder if I get the vibe. I feel like if I would, oh my god. Yes, the window's right there. She has to stare out of it. Hi. I feel like if I were to edit any of these, my legs are asleep. It would be Ariadne, just because the writing in that one is just gorgeous. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go start this because like I got things I gotta do and whatnot. I guess we'll see you at a later point. Bill, you got anything else you want to say? Say hi. I guess I'll read it here because like that's my leg. Oh no. My fridge may have literally just turned on, but we're gonna ignore it. I love how this is just the angle now. It's been like multiple days and I decided to give you an update despite the fact that I have not finished a book. I'm about halfway done with Circe and it is Thursday. I meant to finish this yesterday and then other things happened, aka Notion. It's an issue. We don't need to talk about how I spent multiple hours yesterday taking every series that I'm in and making my own series tracker on Notion, despite the fact that I already did that on Google Sheets earlier this year. So now I have 2 different versions of the same information, and I've been playing around with my homepage all day. It's fine. We don't need to talk about it. But because I didn't finish this, I'm like 46%, I think. And I know the vivid R-word scene is in the next 100 pages. Literally thought the next scene was that scene the last time I read, so then I continued reading thinking that was the chapter where it happens, but no, it was the chapter when Medea and Jason show up. So it was wrong chapter. I know. I remember it was after everything with the Minotaur, and I think it's when a bunch of daughters and whatnot, like kings and whatnot, drop off their daughters to be taken care of by Circe, and I think it's after that happens, like when she's supposed to be taking care of these girls when it happens. I'm pretty sure. I do have the audiobook. My plan today is to finish it via audiobook. Dual read the second half and whatnot, and then for Ariadne I also have the audiobook, so I can dual read that whole entire one probably tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, I meant to do like 2 days for each of them, and then like I kept on pushing off this one. In my defense, I also had like 2 days to read 2 different NetGalley books that were both very long. And I ended up DNFing one, but yeah, that was like 2 days, and then yesterday that happened, so like didn't get the chance. And that's fine. So I'm going to do that. My favorite part of this cover is that it's such a weird texture that you can see all my fingerprints. It's real great, especially on the back. But yeah, that's the plan with this. So I'll probably update you when I finish it. Okay, it's like basically 8 p.m. and people are getting ready to bed, so I'm gonna finish this off fast. But yes, it is less than about 12 hours until this video goes up, and I finished the last 2 books today. You remember when I updated you yesterday on Circe? Yeah, I didn't read any of this after that. I didn't finish it until like 3 this afternoon. Keeping it at 4 stars. And I'm gonna talk about which ones I'm gonna keep and which ones I'm gonna get rid of. I do like it more than Song of Achilles, right? And also, just, you know, it's fine in comparison to the other two, despite the fact that I'm keeping it at 4 stars, as well as Silence of the Girls. I may up this to 4.25. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna up this one to 4.25. Keep this one at 4 stars. And then Ariadne, which I just finished, read all of this one thanks to the audiobook, which I was like looking into the audiobook narrator because I was like, she's doing a great job. I love her. Like blah 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 blah. Like even because it's like dual POV for a little bit, you get both Ariadne and her sister's POV, Persephone, in like just different enough voices where you could tell which one's talking if you weren't like fully paying attention. And I learned that she's one of the actresses for Bridgerton. Yeah. So that was fun. But yes, I read all of this one today, this afternoon, like pretty fast. It's much shorter. I mean, both these are much shorter than Cersei. Like this one's just over 300 pages. My copy is. And this one, I'm going with 4.5, and I should annotate it. I feel like this would be a great one to annotate with the different themes of, well, the main theme of how women are always the one in the stories to be the ones who have revenge taken upon them based off of what the men in their lives do. Like her mother, the whole like going crazy, being forced with a bowl, a bunch of stuff because of her father like betraying Poseidon, and so her mother straight up went crazy and stuff, right? That general theme. Also everything Theseus does, god, I want to punch a man so bad. God. But then like also the themes of similar things but with gods, and how mortals are just things to be toyed with, and these like parts of their stories, and just small parts of their stories and whatnot. I'm not saying it well, but like it's really done well, where it has like both these dual themes that are very similar but just different enough, especially with Dionysus being the main god throughout this, being as he marries Ariadne, and their whole entire relationship starts off on the basis that he grew up for the most part in the mortal world, and he has traveled among mortals for most of his life, so like he understands mortals in a way, and understands the pain of losing, like when a mortal dies, someone you die or someone you love dies and whatnot, and so he's like not cruel like all the other gods, and then things happen. So yeah, 4.5 stars. Honestly gonna keep this one because I just said I want to annotate it, so like we'll start with that one. This one I'm gonna keep, since I guess I should talk about if I'm going to keep them. It's kind of pretty obvious if you can guess, if you can tell from what I'm rating all these. This one going to go up to 4.25. All these I had at 4 stars. And I am also going to keep it, 1, because my sister really likes it, and 2, it's just like a good book. So good times. And then Cersei, I'm gonna get rid of. Okay, hot take. It was still really good. It just wasn't as good as I remember. And I still prefer it to Song of Achilles. It's just it's kind of really long. Like I think it's just short of 400 pages. My copy is, yeah. And like these are like, these 2 other ones are like almost 100 pages shorter. I don't remember how long Silence of the Girls is. Yeah, they're like 100 pages about shorter than Cersei, and the impact was much better. I do have to agree with a complaint. This is the issue of having 3 physical books. I'm talking about it all at the same time. I think my main complaint and why I had it at 4 stars when I first read this, because I think that was before I joined Storygraph, so I wasn't rating things half stars yet. The way I just remembered this is in the alphabet reading vlog. But I think I haven't rewatched that, so I don't know, but I think my main complaint was like the last like 75, 100 pages. Really when the sisters get back together for see each other for the first time, one, the sister's character changes so much, and two, Ariadne, like, it speeds up really fast all of a sudden. Like, it's suddenly like she has 5 kids and all this stuff is happening, and it's like, hello. That's another thing, this is like actually kind of really fast. But yeah, no, it's like it's just different enough from the first 2/3 of the story that like is really enjoyable, that it just feels weird, and like not as good. Like, it's still good, and like the parallels of like the first story of like what true heroes are like is like Medusa, and the first thing she thought of when hearing the full story of Medusa is like, hey, Medusa was the victim. Hot take. And then her being killed by the Perseus's shield with Medusa's head on it, right? And being turned into stone. Right? So like I get the parallels of it, and I like it. And like the idea that Dionysus couldn't let her go, so he turned her into a constellation of stars, so she looks down upon everyone and watches them, but because of that she is never able to go to Hades, to the underworld, and like be with her children when their time comes, or her family, her sister who's dead. Like she's separated from everyone she's loved, forced to just look down at everyone from above. Yeah, I like that, but like everything, the last third is very sudden switch and just different enough where it's weird, and much later in the story than the rest of it, right? Because like in the beginning her sister's like 13, and like when her sister dies, her sister's like, I feel like in her 30s. So like, and it's very sudden switch. Like as soon as like our relationship between Ariadne and Dionysus happens, it's suddenly like, okay, she's pregnant. Okay, she's pregnant again. Oh, now they have 5 kids, and all this other stuff is happening. And it's been like a decade later. So, and that's why it's 4.5, not 5. That was the point of that. But yeah, keeping these 2. Yeah. And whatnot. So I guess I can just put this on the pile right here. Just put that right there. But yeah, that's that. That's this whole entire vlog. I don't know how long it's gonna be. It's gonna be real interesting. What do I have to tell you? Wednesday is TBR. Next Saturday is wrap up. Podcast every Friday. It's a good time. Links below, which includes the podcast. I will put the alphabet reading vlog just because this is in that, up above in the cards. It was definitely weird reading these back to back, being as she is a side character in like multiple chapters of this book. And then like this starts with that section in from this book and like here, with like the Minotaur and whatnot. So interesting. That was a little weird. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So yeah, that's the next videos. And until the next one.